So now we go to what could be available at home, and that is not going to cost you upwards of $30 or $40 per dressing. And these are very, very simple things. This is a breast pad, and it works really well by turning it inside out under your arms, and it has the sticky tabs here that people would normally use it to hold inside their bra. You could actually, again, if you had a t-shirt, take the tabs off. You want to put your arm down? Now, you could either use the tabs with a tight t-shirt to hold it in place, or you could use one of the tapes to hold it in place. It works well there, and it works well under the breast where there's one or two that you could use, because it will cup under the breast, and then you wouldn't need to use the tabs if you were wearing a bra. And just as an aside, not wearing an underwire bra you may find more helpful, because the underwire may just irritate that particular area and create the irritation may create more flares.
Well, that's good to know.
So it's just one of the people with HS gave me that little tip. So we learned from you what works and what doesn't work. So the breast pad, and they come in packages of 50, I think, and they are not that expensive. Then you have the feminine hygiene product, which is, you can do the thin, the thick, and these work well on the backside. So if you have, turn around, if you have a flare in here, if you tape this to your underwear, it'll hold it in place, and it will take up the exudate that you have. And we have many men that will use this. There are male incontinence pads, but the men that I've talked to seem to like the feminine product, because this is a thick one. It's one that I had, but you can get the thin ones and use what you need. These will also actually work under the breast, and they will work in the groin.
That's
too.
That's good to know.
Yeah, and if you have the bicycle short kind of underwear, this kind of thing stays in there very well. Okay, and then there is the abdominal pad that will absorb moisture. It is a little bit more expensive than these are. Again, because it is a medical product, so it adds to the expense, but it works really well for absorbing a lot of moisture under the breasts, on the backside, not so well in the groin, and not so well under the arms because it is bulky.
Mm-hmm. And this is the smaller of the sizes.
This is the smaller of the sizes. You can actually buy it in a roll, and then you can cut it to the custom size that you want. It comes in a huge roll like so, and you can take it off and make it as narrow this way as you want, or as wide as you want. So that may be less expensive than buying it in an individual package like this.
Right. So this would be more handy if you needed to carry them around with you for
Yeah.
an emergency, but a
Yeah.
roll at home would be more cost
Would
effective.
be more cost effective, yeah. And a lot of people will carry an emergency kit kind of with them in a small bag, so that if you get caught, if you have a breast pad or you have an ABD pad, you've at least got some kind of a dressing to tide you through until you can get somewhere that you can do something a bit more permanent.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, any questions about all of this?
No, I think this is very informative and very thorough. There are dressings here that I've never seen, and I've had HS since I was 13 years old. So a lot of this is new to me as well, and it's been very helpful.
Good. And they keep coming up with new things. And I must say that the companies that do dressings are always looking for new ideas. So if people with HS can think of ideas that would make your life easier when you have a flare and you have an area that has a lot of fluid and exudate coming out of it, write it down, and we can pitch it to the company. The tape, the brown tape that I showed you, the Mepitac, this one actually, the idea came from this office one day, but it took about 5 years to get it to fruition, because we were using a very expensive silicone tape to hold dressings in place, and the representative happened to be there. And we said, why don't you make something that's a little cheaper? And she took it back to her company and they developed it. So
That's fantastic.
So
I
there's
mean, unfortunate that it takes quite that long, but so don't hold on to the ideas. Tell people right away so they can get working on them.
exactly, it just has to go through a whole process, and they want it right so that they're not causing any harm, and that's why it takes the time.
Wow.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
you're very welcome. And can we thank our videographer Vanessa
Thank you, Vanessa,
for
for videoing.
taking the time to video.